the Yucatan. So when we look at what we call African history, our people's eyes only go across the Atlantis. But the world scientists' eyes go to Central America, that you call the Yucatan, and North America, which they call in secret societies the North Gate. Okay. All right, so our concepts of how we view ourselves are absolutely corrupted. When we're thinking what we call African history or African culture, and we only look at the continent there, our concepts are wrong. We should be looking at the planet only. Now, when you're talking about Moors, as short, we are the descendants of the ancient ones, direct, and we've been called by many names. Now, what is important to recognize with us is that as we fell under the Roman yoke, we fell as Moors, legally. That's the last legal name of the people called Moors. Now, some of the brands that are used, or misnomers that are used, are Negro, Black, Indian, West Indian, Latino, colored folks, cool, shine, whatever we call ourselves this week. All of those are Moors. Anyone in the Western Hemisphere that are aboriginal or indigenous to the land are of Moorish descent. Quickly, as an example, because I don't want to hold up too much on that answer, we went to a show at the International House in Philadelphia a couple years ago, and they had Mexicans going in there with children, and they were going through some of the rituals with the crowd. Was actually the Four Corners ritual, etc., and they were bringing the culture back to the front, and the children were taping it from a school in Philadelphia for history. And they literally brought out old pictures and literally told the people in the audience that they're descendants of the Moors, literally, right on out.
So they know.
Everybody knows but us. We're the only ones out to lunch, trying to be who we are not, which gives this corporate entity faking as government jurisdiction. That's where our problem is, politically.
And can you touch on that politically, as far as like the government knowing the secret with the secret societies? They know this, but us, the quote-unquote African Americans or Black, we don't know exactly like who we are. I wanted to touch on the classifications of status, because I know that we'll go into a little bit more. Can we touch on what are the 4 classifications of status?
4 classifications of citizenship. Okay. First is national. Second is citizen. Now, all this is citizen, you must understand. Third is subject. Fourth is alien. Now, any persons in of any nationality or of any nation at any particular time, over periods of hundreds of years, may be what you call jurisdictionally or in physical form and politically operating in another government, which means you can go to China and you can probably find anybody from all the nations of the planet at any one time. Likewise here, likewise anywhere else. Now, when you're dealing with the absolute indigenous sovereign people of that particular land, that would be Chinese. If you were in China and you had children in China, they would still be Moors. They wouldn't be Chinese, although Chinese, we still have bloodline. We still have a blood tie, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, if one doesn't understand the classification of citizenship, one has a tendency to operate not only in different jurisdictions, but even within their own community, not understanding their legal status. And status is the first issue at law in sociology, in anthropology, meaning that when you're dealing with other people, when you're interchanging, your legal status is important because that determines your capacities and your incapacities of operations of dealing with rights, resources, legal matters, etc. in society. Any society, universal. So the first issue is status. Then you're dealing with the jurisdiction / venue of an issue. Then you deal with adjudication or decisions or claims made, etc., concerning any matters, whether it's matters of controversy, matters of resources, etc., the capacity of someone to say that they have authority or not authority over you. So these things are convoluted with us because we're not taught civics.
Right. So is that that's one of the reasons why, like, our people are like basically on the bottom of the totem pole?
Exactly. They don't know the rules of the game.
Okay.
I mean, we're as chattel, movable chattel, as opposed to being national people of the land. Therefore, resources are not in our control. Economics are not that we don't handle these things, but we do it in a service, or what you would call a job position, but never in what you call true authoritative position. And most who are signed that way are usually tokens.
Okay.
Prime example. Remember when was trying to get an apartment when he first came out. He was trying, and they told him he couldn't get it because he was the status that he was in. When you're dealing with your status, there's principles and morals that come along with it. So what happens if he was coming in claiming to be African American or black? We don't know what he's about, so we don't want to watch him. Now, take for instance, we watched the movie Scarface. Italians have principles, they have morals. When Al Pacino was getting ready to bomb the guy remember that scene? And he was in a car and he said, "You think I'm an animal?" And he shot the Cuban dude. The Cuban dude didn't have principles and morals. We don't have principles and morals. When you're dealing with your status and your nationality, we have principles. What is the 5 principles we stand on? Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So Italians have that same thing. Chinese have the same thing. But where's the black people's?
So we don't have it because
that's expected from you.
Exactly. You know, so the same thing, incident happened in Philadelphia with the swimming pool issue. They was calling, you know, they got upset because the guy didn't want them in the swimming pool. That's their community, they built it. And when something came up and one of the European student swimming people came in and said, "Why is blacks in the swimming pool?" Now that's a big issue right now. You know, because we don't know what they're about. They can come in and tear things up. But if you have principles and morals with you, you're going to come in with those things.
And people will already expect that. So basically, when someone has been under the title black or colored or Negro, they're kind of like in a dark, in a sense, meaning people don't know who they are about, what you're about.
That's why Taj says status, the status issue. When you
they talk about horns, chop horns up, live around the world, just symbols and split up. And people get with different organizations and stuff like that with all of his words. And then once you understand that, and then once you understand that, you'll understand.
Go in, okay, what is his principles? Where's his flag at? Where's his constitution? Where his laws at? All these things play a part. So when you come in.
So black is not a nationality?
No, it's not.
It's a brand.
No. You can't find that in the dictionary as a nationality.
Okay.
Example.
We're in school right now, y'all. We are in school.
So we have an ordinary dictionary, right?
Okay.
Now this is available to children as well as adults, right? But as Brother Sabir said, we have a tendency not to read.
Right.
All right, so let's look at black in the dictionary.
You can look up Englishman.
Yes.
And Frenchman and Dutchman. All that's nationality.
Yes. Now, as we can see, black here gives me, it's an adjective, right?
Yep, it's an adjective.
All right, now we can go into, it also refers to Negro, etc., right?
Yes.
Now that has meanings, all of which is what? Involved or enveloped in darkness. Black, night, gloomy, dismal,
sullen,
boding ill, forbidding, more absent, without any moral light or goodness, which he was talking about.
Right.
Now, when we take that brand, that's what we've told the world, that we have no moral light or goodness. We're sullen. It's a total negative. It's a prayer in one word. It's an adjective.
And also, we talked about like the words and how we cast spells on ourselves.
Exactly. That's a spell. Now, as, pardon me. Now look, continue. And you go down here, and then it gives you a compound word. What's that compound word?
Black or more.
Now, what is that?
It's a noun.
Now they break it down. It's a compound word, right?
Yes.
What's that?
A Negro.
Any
dark-skinned person.
What? A variation of?
Variation of black, more.
Which one is capitalized, black or more?
More is capitalized.
What small case? The adjective.
Black.
Now it's separated. And who are those people that think that they're black?
Moors.
Is that complex?
No.
Not hard at all.
Can a child read that?
Yes.
Isn't it in the dictionary?
Yes.
What's the debate? Except that they don't read.
Right.
And the world knows who they are. Now, you understand what masonry is?
Yes, it's basically a secret of what the truth of.
It's an open secret.
Open secret.
That's why people who come from around the world has limited respect of us.
Yep.
Because we talk a lot of trash. We know gods, and we take the position nobody else does, and we're arrogant with our ignorance, and they can't tell us anything because we think we know what's up when we don't even know ourselves. So you can understand it makes it kind of difficult for civilized people to talk to us because we always get emotional, want to march, pray, burn their stuff down if they say things that we're not comfortable with.